Right.
We are not doing the fighting. And that's critical to what's happening here. Yes, are we funding it? But it's an investment, as far as I'm concerned, investment in the security of our future.
General Jack Keane is looking at the other part of this development here concerning Elon Musk, and that would be probably this notion that some are looking at this as a reflection of his desire to see this end, because European support seems to be ebbing. And at the same time, a number of Florida congressmen are saying because of the hurricane in the United States, it's a reminder we spend a lot more money helping the Ukrainians and not nearly enough helping American citizens. Florida Representative Greg Steube among those saying not another penny to Ukraine. We should focus on helping right now people here at home. General, that is a long and windy introduction to you. I apologize for that, but this is something you were worried about, that the appetite to help Ukraine, ironically now, when it's showing real progress against the Russians, might be the last thing Ukraine needs. What do you make of this?
Yeah, well, certainly the support among the American people to continue to help Ukraine is about 66%, so it's pretty solid. But there are people in the Congress, and some of them Republicans, who have always expressed some concern about spending, in terms of spending money on Ukraine. But you know, we've got a $6 trillion budget. It's actually larger than that by a few $100 billion. And we've invested, and I mean invested, $66 billion in Ukraine this year. And that's like 1.1%. And what are we getting for that investment? We have Putin, who we were dismissing for years and not taking seriously, despite Georgia in 2008, despite Syria, despite Crimea and Eastern Ukraine in 2014, because he's a declining power. He's got his economy's in a tank. He's a one commodity economy. And we had a tendency, frankly, to not take.
Давайте ответим сами себе на очень простые вопросы. Я сейчас хочу вернуться к тому, что сказал. Хочу обратиться и ко всем гражданам страны, не только к тем коллегам, которые в зале находятся, ко всем гражданам России. Разве мы хотим, чтобы у нас здесь, в нашей стране, в России, вместо мамы и папы был родитель номер 1, номер 2, номер 3? Совсем спятили уже. Разве мы хотим, чтобы в наших школах с начальных классов детям навязывали извращения, которые ведут к деградации и вымиранию? Чтобы им вдалбливали, что кроме женщины и мужчины якобы существуют еще некие гендеры, и предлагали сделать операцию по смене пола. Но разве мы все этого хотим для своей страны и для своих детей? Для нас все это неприемлемо. У нас другое, свое будущее. Повторю, диктатура западных элит направлена против всех обществ, в том числе и народов самих западных стран. Это вызов всем. Такое полное отрицание человека, ниспровержение веры и традиционных ценностей, подавление свободы приобретает черты религии наоборот, откровенного сатанизма. В Нагорной проповеди Иисус Христос, обличая лжепророков, говорит: «По плодам их узнаете их». И эти ядовитые плоды уже очевидны людям. Не только в нашей стране, во всех странах, в том числе для многих людей и в самом Западе.
The economy is getting hammered by this, by the sudden cutoff of energy, and now to make it definitive, the destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline, which I would bet was a U.S. action, perhaps U.S. and Poland. This is
right, Jeff, we got to stop there. That's quite a statement as well. Why do you feel that was a U.S. action? What evidence do you have of that?
Well, first of all, there's direct radar evidence that U.S. helicopters, military helicopters that are normally based in Gdansk, were circling over this area. We also had the threats from the United States earlier in this year that one way or another, we are going to end Nord Stream. We also have a remarkable statement by Secretary Blinken last Friday in a press conference. He says, this is also a tremendous opportunity. It's a strange way to, it's a strange way to talk if you're worried about the piracy on international infrastructure of vital significance. So I know this runs counter to our narrative. It runs, you're not allowed to say these things in the West. But the fact of the matter is, all over the world, when I talk to people, they think the U.S. did it. Just to tell you. And by the way, even reporters on our papers that are involved tell me privately, yeah, well, of course, but it doesn't show up in our media.
Professor,